The people are talking about people. The love over hate, the good over evil. If they gon' talk, might as well give them a reason to. PK and the Prof kicking off with a season 2. Sometimes you don't look for love, you let it find you. I pray someday you find somebody to align to. The naysayers don't count, they never mind you. So be fruitful and multiply all the times that mind you. What's in the past is the
Hey everybody, thank you and welcome back. Please remember, everybody that's subscribing and liking us, please keep doing that thing. All about and very robust. We're going to start this conversation and maybe back it up a little bit, because I think when we ended on yesterday or whatever day it was, I wasn't clear on the plan and the promise from you, my dear.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. First, let me just say good morning as well to you. And also, I have a poem I want to share. You know how we throw out little poems and things. I'm gonna open up mine with a Good Morning Boo poem, the one I did from a couple weeks ago when our anniversary. So I'm gonna open up there with the Good Morning Boo and then just segue. Good morning, good morning, Boo. She brings the smells and sounds of the morning, a crisp bacon, a fresh pot, a song from the heart, some loving. Lord, lift me up. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. A morning prayer, a consulting word, a remainder and a reminder to be heard.
I think that, you know what? I think that when we circle back, and I love the poem, and I always do, because I do all those things. I do get up in the morning in a very small space and I sing really loud because I talk a really lot. And so I do make the bacon and I do make the coffee, and maybe I make some grits and maybe some waffles. It just depends. I send the dog out. It's just my life, right? It's called my married life. It was my promise as we circle back to our plans and our promise. And so I think that we get married because we're in love. We stay married because we love. And so I am not certain about divorce and how that rings, because I don't know. We get married because we're in love, and then we stay married. But what I heard you say on yesterday was that you were married 20 years. I was 25. And different things separated us from marriages. Death and divorce separated us. And so I'm curious that 19 years could not have been great if 1 year just blew your house down like the little piggy. I mean, that doesn't seem real to me, because I've been in a relationship for 25 years.
And you know from those times that I don't know how many, my references, there were many years, however many there were, and I gave them a number when I spoke to them yesterday. But there were many years of happiness.
No one's negating the happiness.
There were many days as opposed to years of torment.
But don't days turn into years?
Well, I mean, by the time I got served in that year, on the eve of my 20th anniversary,
But those days had turned into years.
At that moment.
No, it wasn't even at that moment. Those days, the moment became the moment. But those days that you keep randomly speaking of turned into years.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking about, the levees that were breaking. That was the reference I used. And so the levee, there was a break here, cracks here, cracks here, cracks here, cracks here. Because you're in a relationship, you said, being in for the 15 is when things, it's like, well, how long do we stay in these relationships when we know that they're maybe not healthy? We're not thriving and optimal. And so from when I knew when that moment hit.
No, she told you when that moment hit. I knew when the moment hit to say touche on that.
Yeah, you got
Same
it.
thing.
Exactly.
But to the point to why we stay, why I stayed, if you want me to know, is the same thing that I just read to you or just said to you. I stayed married because I love. And First Corinthians tells me about love, right? It tells me that love is patient and it's kind and it does all of these other things. And so, you know what? That's why I stayed.
Yep.
And I had three children that I was responsible for. But you know what was so amazing in that whole entire situation is that I know I did the right thing because God took control
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have me divorce him. He didn't have our family go through that loss. It's a hugely different loss, but he didn't allow that to be. I got to serve my vows all the way. I got to keep my promise till death did us part.
Remember, we had conversations early on, and I didn't understand the difference between the. We knew we had loss, our children had loss, and we had faced loss, but the loss was different. Remember how I was. Remember how I was like, well, I don't know if the loss is any different. I realized as I've seen, the loss has been different, right? I mean, initially, I was thinking, well, the loss of divorce and death, aren't those still massive? Yeah, they are massive losses, but those are unique losses.
But you know what? That's our next show when we talk about stepping up as step parents, and they need to cut us off right now. So
did we get the message?
I think so.
No, we didn't get the
we
message.
didn't. So
she didn't
you
stand
gonna
up.
keep talking about
Yeah, we're
stuff?
still rolling.
Okay,
we're moving into Daddy's home. That's really we're making a segue into Daddy's home.
So Daddy's home. Here's the thing. You grew up, Dr. Hobson and Professor. My face.
No, that's my shit. My bad. That's my stuff.
And you
I didn't
grew
put
up
I didn't put any lotion on
with
this
a
morning.
single mom. And people that have grow up with single parents, I think I have a question. I have a question because I don't have any idea what it is to grow up as a single parent. But what I do try and understand is the dynamics in just living. So, do you have a deadbeat dad? Or is your dad a deadbeat dad? Or is he a dad that gave you some financial support? Because the thing with single moms I hear is that dude didn't give me any money. That dude, now he's not going to be around. We understood that. So my mommy didn't marry my daddy.
Yeah.
Is that the thing we're mad about? Or did he
Yeah.
not give you any money?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking because it becomes a deadbeat mother hunchy or another mother hunchy.
He would probably be characterized as a deadbeat.
A deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
That's how you would
I wouldn't have known that growing up.
term to say
it, but in fact, because there's levels to it, right? Just the way you described it. There's the, in the life, maybe going through and still seeing and maybe connected to another set of family. There's another one living in another. But I might have seen him growing up a handful of times. My memory. So when I got to be older, I sought him out, and that was really because my mother was recommending that I sought him out. But there was no daddy at home. My relationships had to be built from either my uncles who lived in other states, mom's friends who took care in her places, but that was growing up.
So there's no emotional support and there's no emotionality to your dad. I mean, there's no emotional lift to your dad, and you call yourself a single, growing up with a single mom because he just gave up no dough. He gave up no emotional.
I never saw
love.
that.
He did nothing.
I never saw that.
He did none
I never
of those
saw
things.
any of it. And if she got something, that was on. I don't think, because I used to hear a little bit, but by that time, right.
So let me ask you a question. Is it possible that even an individual that grew up with a mommy and a daddy in the same home, is dad not also, he not be present enough? Is he, because you think that financial support becomes a thing, because you imagine that he shows up every night at home, and he pays the bill, he shows up at home, but the emotional to that is still sometimes so wrong. And so, do those things still call us single parents? Because if you ask me a question, I would say this: who got up in the morning to take A, B, and C to school? Who got up in the morning? All the things, everything. Who went to PTA? Who went to this and that? Who did all those things? Daddy didn't. What he did do is give the financial support that allowed us to live our life, but that doesn't make him a not present guy, because he still wasn't emotionally present. So I guess my question is,
I don't have that reference.
My question is the emotional presence more important than the financial presence?
Well, I mean, full circle. I could only talk about that as a father. I can't talk about that as a child because I didn't have that reference. I don't have that reference of him. But as a father, full circle, it also influenced what kind of father I thought I needed to be. And I was...
I feel like that probably...
Okay.
This is...
Yeah, Josh, he'll be moving. He was just...
about 3 minutes left in the,
okay.
in the segment.
Yeah, he's just taking off. That's his role.
Part
The brother who lived next to us had another truck that had a
What do you want me
similar
to do?
loud ass muffler. They like that
3
shit.
minutes left when the first segment
Yeah.
started, and then you got
Yeah.
the second segment of 10 minutes for Daddy's.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all talked about wrapping up
Yeah.
episode 2 yesterday.
And we'll refine it
Y'all
at the
used
break.
that time.
So
Yeah.
if you could just back up your point from right before where I stopped you.
Just remind me.
You said...
Oh, full circle.
Yes.
Full circle. The question really is, because I have no emotional even level of with my father growing up. I don't, as you know. But I think as a father, I had to full circle it because I didn't know I had no examples of a father really, and I didn't realize that until, you make mistakes as a father growing up. You overreach, you inflict harassment in mental ways, unfortunately, to your family that you don't intend to, at levels that you just, you don't think that those things will have seeds that people will grow and think. And so, part of the full circle now is like, what kind of father was I? Because I didn't have that reference. I had references, but not growing up. And so, I'm a different father now. And I'm a different father with the first kid than the second kid, and now with the 5 kids now, they're where they are in their different spaces as being father figures to them, and understanding sort of how we've been touching with them. But yeah, I've had to, and that's what I've appreciated about your bringing yourselves into my life when you did was there was structure there. There was a structure there that I knew our family also could benefit from. I knew I could, and have. We're getting to wrap up, and so one of the things that I didn't finish my poem. There's another part in the poem, Good Morning poem, where you speak to when the revolution comes, because you also keep the beat in our family, and so I just want to give you love. I know we sort of circle back through things. You know that you're the love of my life, and that we've had love that we've shared, but this is the love we're sharing, and we're in it. And so we look forward to that's the other thing that you taught me really well, was no returns, no retreats, and no regrets. And so that's how we end this series as we get ready for the next.
We also have to say, for all who's starting out, there must be a plan, a purpose.
And it's great when you have a partner.
And a partner. That's really it. We are the Hobsons, and we're also known as the PK and Prof. And we want you to subscribe and like us, please, in Japanese.
Second
Thanks,
season.
guys.
Second
In
season, here we are.
Season 2.
stop to pee one time, it's 7 hours.
That's not African style. Africans stop every 10 minutes because they got to stop at Aunt Tilly's house and Aunt Millie's house, and they got to go to Tate Mokonjo's house, and they got to stop and get the rods for the fence.
I lied.
You lied your ass off.
I mean,
Nah, that's
it's amazing that I didn't realize how much when you grow with things and you without, you don't really realize the benefit of something that you didn't have. That's daddy's home for me. So, yeah.
I guess the difference is I've always known, whether the circumstance or the situation, that Reverend Martin was going to walk through the door. Unless he died. Right. That would be the only way he wouldn't come through that door. Right. And so I think that may be the difference in daddy being home, whether he's a deadbeat dad, whether he's an economically, financially responsive dad, whether he's emotional dad. The difference becomes in you and I always knew my daddy was going to walk through the door.
And I learned in divorce that even the financial wasn't enough, to your point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was told, at least on one occasion, that it's not about whether you give me money or not, Dad. And that you hear that. And so it's a presence. It's a being there. And so, yeah.
That's all. So, you know what we have to always remind people in this arena and in these all thoughts that they are encompassing their mind, they need a partner, a plan, a purpose, and we always have to remember that there's no regrets,
no
retreats,
and no returns.
We are the Hobsons, we are the PK and Prof.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Hey guys, you're watching the PK and Prof. Let's keep going. Please subscribe. So much thanks and so much love that's given to us. Subscribe, like us. Yes, you are watching YouTube and us.
You
are
watching
and
If they gon' talk, might as well give them a reason to. PK and the Prof kicking off with a season 2. Sometimes you don't look for love.
I am a girl who grew up with 2 sisters and 1 brother. That made 4 of us. Rodney is an only child. And my question is, is there a difference in how we understand marriage? Because there's a different share to understanding how you learn to share with 4 different people than no one else.
You got examples of things that you shared, or you went downstairs and took the cookies? Or
no, I had to. I shared all the time. It was a constant share, nigga.
Yeah.
What, I mean, sorry.
Oh, you see, y'all wanted
see,
a little bit.
Cassandra,
I told you I could get things started real quickly.
Right.
I could get things. I could get things started
okay.
really quickly.
I'm just saying.